Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read through for Kubera Season 3, episodes 14 through at least 16. Again, I will try to shoot for at least 3. Last read through was really fun. I liked the last section of the story, all of the plot lines and characters that we were getting back to, but also something that I praised a lot. That I really enjoyed and was glad to see were characters that have been around since like basically the beginning, but we haven't got a lot of time with them. Getting a bit more time with them, seeing them interact with other characters, and really seeing interactions between characters that are a little bit more on the rare side. But with all that aside, I don't think there's much to recap. I'm excited to see where it continues into, because we are moving into a new chapter or whatever called Threat, but at the same time, it feels like we didn't like finish off anything conclusively, and we're just continuing with what we were going with. Yeah, so with that aside, either way, let's go ahead and start reading, and as always, I'll do the afterword after each chapter, and I love the extra info that we get from Kurigam each time, and also just the perspective on the story, and like seeing a little bit of the author's perspective on the story and characters is really cool. So even if it's not like a ton of new info, it's always at least cool just to see what the author is thinking when making this. So we start off with Marina at the portal. If I encounter the Gintarva clan, what should I tell them? Probably best to say I don't know Gintarva's whereabouts either. If I tell them the truth, and there's a flash from the portal, some thudding and screeing and cracking, and okay, he finds himself protected from a pink blast by whoever this is. Akasha? How did Akasha know to come? Did Samfati get here before me? Yes, that must be why. I haven't had news of her for the last 7 years. She must have discovered a passage early and come over to the Shura realm. What happened to Samfati? Answer me, Marina. Why have you turned up here without her? Man, that's a really good expression. So he's like, oh, she must have gotten here first, but then immediately having that dashed. Threat Part 1. No matter. Your silence is answer enough. I should have known. If Samfati had safely completed her mission, things would never have deteriorated this far. I've been preparing myself for this news, and maybe that's why they wanted to do things like taking out Yuta or whatever. Maybe that's why they were hoping for that, because that would have stopped the Taraka spread from happening. Are those Yakshas and Gantarvas? Why are the Gnostikas of allied clans fighting each other? There is no time to explain. Take this and return to the human realm. If you're lucky, you'll meet someone who knows how to use it. I hate when characters do this no time to explain stuff. Give me the brief recap. Give me, like, you had time to say these 3 sentences. Give me, like, 3 sentences. Give me a couple words. Give me, like, Taraka, bad, world falling apart, push me back through the portal. At least give me something. There's no time to explain. And we're giving us more. There was time to explain. We're giving more sentences. Literally, just give me the brief recap. If you do, obey them unconditionally. Do whatever it takes to learn the secret from them. You're our only hope now. Akasha, you're a minor injury, that's all. An injury that you can't heal with your powers? What kind of attack? What were the other Gnostikas doing while you were getting hurt? The only Gnostika of the Garuda clan that can still fight is me, Marina. The door's begun to close. We're out of time. And he's sent back through. Akasha? You can't stay here alone. You need to come survive, Marina. Use any means available to you. Live and smile. The one left smiling will be the victor. and that will be justice. That's a really, really cool statement to leave him on. But also this means if he's getting thrown back through, that he got to get this. This is a really cool way to write this. He got to have this information, but also we get to continue the stuff with Gantarva, and it gives him a reason to go with Gantarva and the others. Also, again, thank you for all of your comments. I totally didn't even think about it that way until somebody in the comments said, because I was like, okay, what if Par sponsored Marina just to keep an eye on him? And somebody was like, oh, just like Teo did with Gantarva, really. But also somebody said, I don't think halves are allowed to sponsor other halves, and I didn't even really think about the fact that Par is also a half. So yeah, that might not actually work out. I don't think halves are allowed to do that. So yeah, my bad. I didn't really think about that. No, Akasha. I have no idea where to put the emphasis on her name. Akasha, I have no clue. No, Akasha, I can't leave you here to fight alone. And the portal's starting to go away. Over here, here's Runa. Ah, just as Ruva said. Runa, Miss Teo's gonna sponsor you now. You can live in the city, it's great, right? He's angry. Pavati Agni. We're cutting over. That's the last one destroyed. Finally. If you don't kill them properly the first time, there's another one on the inside. I've never seen anything like them. And occasionally our magic just disappears. You seem really calm, Mairi. Aren't you amazed at all? Yes, of course I am. The existence of the Taraka clan is heresy. Better pretend I didn't know. When my brother recommended those heretical texts to me, did he suspect this would happen? Wait, where's that half from before? It was just here a minute ago. It must have run, damn it. What do you mean? Damn it. Never mind. It's only a matter of time before the half protection law is passed. If you don't fix your attitude soon, you'll end up in the Aero Plateau prison. Damn protection law pisses me off. He must have gotten away safely. That's good. I was worried he might forget. Okay, before I get clapped by the next panel, I was thinking that the way he was reacting last time, even though she said, like, to try to protect him, oh, run away and stuff, because not all of the people feel a certain way about halves, I thought that he was going to stick around just to kind of force her hand into doing something, like, just to, like, get at her. He was gonna just stick around. But that might happen next panel. So before I get clapped, I wanted to get out what I thought was gonna happen. That's good. I was worried he might forget because he seemed so absorbed in fighting. What were you doing, Clofe? Okay, he's back with Cloche. I told you to leave the humans alone. Why did you do what Huda said? I didn't do what Huda said. I did what I wanted to. What? And now we have the shout of the temple that Kurigam said to get very used to. Also, I completely forgot to say in the intro, I will go back and reread the series, and then once I reread, I really want to stream a lot more often. I've been saying literally all year I have wanted to. I want to stream multiple times a week, but I have so far done it like 0 times. So once I reread on my own, maybe I'll stream another character ranking. That's something that I'll be working on my own, and I'm sorry, don't expect, at least not anytime soon, don't expect a, like, screen time video or anything for Kubera, because it's a lot. It would take forever for me to reread while taking notes like that. So, and also I don't feel like I've read enough of Kubera. I don't feel like I am knowledgeable enough that I know the characters enough to be doing something like that. So, don't expect anything like that. I'm just going to reread on my own, just reading casually, so that it will maybe only take a couple weeks or something, if instead of like months upon months if I was taking notes. The Shura disappearances are no longer to be dismissed lightly. First, Misty Shore, then Calibloom and Terra, and quite a number of them too. No human lives were lost, fortunately, but too many people saw them. It'll be impossible to stop rumors from spreading. It means the Shura realm isn't managing to keep them under control. If the Gnostikas aren't able to do anything, this is serious. Then it can't be helped then. Send a letter to each of the cities. We will officially acknowledge the existence of the Taraka clan and begin preparations for defense. To be continued. Okay, very cool. And obviously the first idea of what the title threat means is the threat of the Taraka to everything and everyone. Like I said, they're spreading like the flood, essentially. They're spreading through the Shuras, and it seems like the Shuras, even the Gnostikas, who are extremely powerful, can't contain them. And if they spread from there and the barriers start to open and they start spilling out, then they'll go from not just threatening the Shuras, but to threatening the human realm. And if they have taken out both the Shura realm and the human realm, then what happens? Do they start getting to the God realm? Given that, again, they are connected in a way to Kali. But either way, before I continue on, let's go check out the blog post for this chapter. The blog post this time starts with Gnostica speaks with her back. It's Akasha, appearing after quite a long time. But the situation in which she appeared is desperate. And then link to the webtoon. What's the meaning behind this expression? No matter how much she acts tough and he acts tough and does all sorts of things, Marna's appearance is that of a human in their late teens, roughly the age of a high school student. Sometimes he does show expressions that are closer to his actual age. If his lineage and talents had been a bit more ordinary, he might have grown up with a much more childlike personality than he does now. It's been a while since their last appearance. The stage effects are spectacular. Akasha is a Gnostica with a stronger feminine form, and her gender identity is also female. Of course, there are many Gnostikas who have been her husbands, but as of the time of Kubera, she's single. She has been living alone ever since Samfadi's father died. And we have Huda's cosplay outfit is dead. Bhavati Agni is arguably the strongest magic for dealing damage to a single target. In Part 1, Brilith even used it to blow Sagara's body halfway away. It was really hard getting to the threat chapter. Just as you all look forward to explosive content, I also want to move forward by drawing nothing but explosive scenes every day. However, even non-explosive content is necessary for the story. If the content so far could simply be glossed over at the level of the Taraka tribe has appeared, I would have skipped over it just like that. Why would I unnecessarily drag out the story when the final chapter count's fixed? But the content of this previous chapter requires the relationships between the characters that existed during the process, rather than such a simple result. So please watch the story unfold. Kubera is a long-running webtoon, and Part 3 still has plenty left. Yeah, like 400 chapters. Either way, with that aside, that was a really good chapter. Again, I'm loving these plot points and the characters that we're sticking with. I think the scene with Akasha and Marina was so good. I make fun of when we do this. There's no time to explain. Literally, there was. You could have at least said a couple sentences, at least give us a little bit. You could have said more, really. But as much as I make fun of that, I really, really like that scene. I really like the stuff that she left him on and where that kind of potentially sends Marina's character from here. Because Marina's one of our main characters and there's a lot going on with them. So I'm excited to see where it leads to. Either way, let's go check out chapter 14. Or 15. Starting chapter 15, which is 300 overall on Webtoons. We've got Par and Teo's group. Serves you right after everything you said. Passages between realms never last that long. You should have realized it would be closed by the time you got there. Okay, so is he telling them it closed by the time he got there? So not even letting Gantarva know that he received whatever he received and spoke to Akasha. What made you think that door was still open? Did you think you'd never see me again? You thought you'd say whatever you wanted before you left? Always so short-sighted. All that ranting about not wanting to play human, and here you are inside the city. Now he's just getting nagged and scolded. There's no time to explain. Take this and return to the human realm. If you're lucky, you'll meet someone who knows how to use it. If you do, obey them unconditionally. Do whatever it takes to learn the secret from them. You're our only hope now. I know of this item. Whatever information there is about God-level items will be found inside a city. If necessary, I'll have to pretend obedience to the humans and find out how it's used. Why, listen when an adult is talking to you. What are you thinking about? And it's really funny, because at least Gandharva can speak to pretend to be a half, but Marina looks like Marina, and also can't speak. Like, he is so just very obviously... He is very obviously a Rakshasa, very obviously a higher level Shura, very obviously not. Definitely not a half. Like, from appearance and from the fact that he can't speak. Whatever state the Shura realm is in, I doubt you'll care. You call yourself a king, and it didn't even occur to you to check on your people. I have no reason to tell you what's happening on the other side. Ah, I'm sorry, Gandharva. I was thinking about how I should apologize for speaking so rudely to you. No need. Just keep pretending to be a half, as you've been doing, and go along with what the city people say. If you do, I'll consider the incident forgotten. Think about it this way. It's a good opportunity to experience city life, isn't it? Yes, I'll do as you say, Gandharva. Threat Part 2. More and more of them are starting to come through the passages, which means food should be scarce in the Shura realm. The weaker ones have already been eaten, and it must only be the especially strong ones that are still alive. Ah, maybe that's why they're also turning on each other. This is why I was against moving the Taraka clan to the Shura realm. Although, in the end, I had to agree. There wasn't much choice, was there? I heard the means used weren't entirely honorable, but if it was to stop the destruction of the universe, I don't think you and the others decided wrongly. But it might still end up destroying the universe. And yet here we are, facing universal destruction, courtesy of the Taraka clan. It can't be helped. The gods only knew of one future back then. If we had known that both paths led to ruin, we might have thought again. Anyhow, if things get bad, I'm planning to use these. It's why I was gathering them after all. And he has a bunch of gems. You're going to use Taraka's fragments? They were collected from the Taraka clan Shuras, but they're Kali's fragments, more than Taraka's. Kali was the original owner of the clan, after all. Maybe you should reconsider, Chandra. It's not even certain how much the fragments will affect the link between the Tarakas. The risk is too great. If you fail, it means you'll just get eaten. You were the one who warned me about the possibility of getting eaten. If you go berserk, then who's going to use them? You? What do I do if you go berserk? It doesn't have to be a god who uses them. It'll be difficult to endure even with a god's willpower. You want to entrust this to a human? There's less of a risk if things go wrong. You or I can subdue them if we need to. Humans don't revive like we do. Subduing them means killing them. You know that, right? I know, but it's better than either of us using the fragments and ending up out of control. Of course, this is something that we should turn to only if things get so bad that we have no choice. Even one human life is valuable. Don't go testing it out on humans before then, you hear? What? Don't tell me you were actually planning on doing it? Oh, Chandra, I don't think Chandra was, right? Because Chandra was planning to use it himself. Fine, I get it. Go back to Atera. Lila says she's had a talk to Brilith about insight. If you go back and talk to her, you'll sort things out soon enough. You're the type to tolerate whatever the other's thinking anyway. And it's neat that in the past 2 chapters, I don't remember if we've had more in Season 3 so far. We've had like these flashbacks in the chapters. I feel like I don't remember a lot of those in previous seasons. Why are you looking like that? Am I wrong? No. Yes, I'll get going then. But if you start experimenting on humans just because I'm not here, just go. And he leaves. I lose. Daddy gives up. Have mercy. Dad, you've become too weak. Yes, Dad's weak, so let's please stop. And we're back with Ron's family. You couldn't be bothered to play with them properly, could you? Huh? No. Guys, there's no way Daddy would be that weak. He wasn't playing properly. You can hurt him more. Right, he wasn't playing properly. Since he wasn't playing properly, one more time is punishment. Guys, please. Playing with Khan and Ten's far easier than playing with Remy. You need to catch up on months of not playing with them anyhow, so you won't be able to spend so much time with them after your appointment ceremony. I figure you would have been able to spend more time with them since he's just going to be in the city. Ron, there's a confidential document for you here. Confidential? Wait, it can't be. I said I wasn't running any more errands. Errands? To the humans who have run my errands. Okay, I wonder if humans is correct here, and it's like going out to multiple, and there's more than just Ron. I mean, he did have his teammates, but I wonder if they're just other human operatives for Chandra and Agni. You would have read Lila's official letter already, but there's no need to gather any more fragments. We'll now undergo preparation for using them. Meet in Calibloom by the Day of Chaos next week. Okay, so they're trying to use them soon. I was not expecting it to be this soon. I thought it was just, we're going to use them if things start to get really bad. Okay. And now, of course, more confirmation that what they were doing was collecting the fragments. Those who are priests, entrust your barrier to a priest candidate and prepare them as instructed in Lila's letter. Then leave for Calibloom. Okay, and we're seeing the others. Is that Mirha? Not gonna lie, boobs look too big. Also the thighs. But, maybe she has aged a little since then. I'm not sure who it is with the short green hair. I'm not sure who... Is that... Was it Sierra? Is that Sierra? Maybe? I don't remember if their hair was more blonde than that. And then that's... something with a C? Clary? I think that's Clary. And then with the suit and tie, maybe Lutz. And then the last one at the bottom... Maybe... Oh man, was there somebody who looked like that? Was there like a dog half that I remember? No, I don't really remember someone like that. So there are two, like with the short mint-colored hair and the one at the bottom that I don't think I recognize, and the other four I could be wrong about, but I think Mirha was her name, right? The priest of Sky? Mirha, Sierra, Clary, and Lutz, maybe? One of you will soon have the honor of saving the world. Okay, so they're going to use one of them, to be continued. And again, I guess that's what... was it what Agni suggested? I mean... I don't know. Hold on, let me go back up here, because I thought Chandra was going to use it himself, and then Agni was like, no, let me use it. And I guess maybe it was Chandra that said, okay, we could just use a human, and Agni was like, no way, we can't just use it on a human because they'll kill them. Okay. No, it is Agni who suggests it. Okay, that's what I thought at first. That Agni suggested using a human. So yeah, at first, Chandra was going to use it, but he's like, if you fail, you'll get eaten. That's bad. And then Agni says it doesn't have to be a god who uses them, we can subdue a human. But Chandra's like, you realize that subduing a human means killing them. Okay. So it was Agni who suggested it. But either way, really, really good chapter. I love this build-up. I can't wait to see what's going to go on with the group that they're calling all together. Because we're going to have them called all together and using the Kali fragments, which seems like could go very, very wrong, but we're going to have all of these powerful characters convening for that. Okay. Alright, with that aside, I get to continue though, so let's go check out the Afterword. Afterword here starts with a link, and then I don't know what it is, but it's a very small item because of Marina's hand. I also want to see more of Marina in a human city. Since there were no gloves in the last episode, but there are in this one, I was worried that some people might misunderstand and think that the item Akasha gave is the gloves, so I've included this in the author's note for the episode. The gloves were taken off in Part 3, Episode 10. They're the gloves Marina originally wore, and the item Akasha gave is a very small item that fits in one hand. What does it mean to run amok? It seems the gods probably know about that state because they've experienced with it, right? I guess it is just being taken over by the chaos. I guess kind of like the Taraka do. It's just a house, and we have this opulent mansion. We didn't specifically buy a house after getting married or anything like that. This is the house Ron has lived in since he was single. However, I only changed the sky blue to a sunset color and forgot to change the window color. It's not an urgent or important issue, so I'll fix it by tomorrow. And we have our grouping of characters. There isn't a single new character here. Okay, so they are characters we already know. The one with the short mint hair, is that the one that was like Rana's romance rival? Wasn't there somebody, or no, it wasn't somebody who liked Ron. It was somebody who liked, or was set up in a marriage with, gosh, what was his name? Saha. There was somebody that was set up in a marriage with Saha, but he went with Lorraine instead, right? She might be that character. And then I swear I do remember a character who looked like this, like a dog half. I do remember a character who looked like this, but I don't remember who. But if the rest aren't new, then I'm thinking the 4 I guessed are probably right. So yeah, I think the short mint hair one is the one, and I think they do know Rana. They interacted with Rana, right? Or were they somebody who was supposed to be with Ron? I thought it was Saha, though. Because I thought we saw them in the Lorraine and Saha, like they were mentioned and shown in the like bonus chapter that was Lorraine and Saha eating together. So I think that's them. But for some reason, maybe I'm thinking of them interacting with Lorraine at some point, but I felt like they interacted with Rana at some point during, like maybe they were there at that final battle and they interacted with Rana at one point, like at the bottom area, before Rana and Ron went up to the top and found what happened in the aftermath of Lorraine getting shocked. That's how I remember things, at least, I'm thinking. So I think that might be her, but I don't remember the one at the bottom here. Like, again, I think I remember somebody looking like this, but I don't remember who that person was that looked like that. Even though their styles have changed a bit, they're all characters who appeared up to Part 2. But what exactly do they have in common? Why did Chandra choose them? And why are Theona and Heidi missing? Theona. Oh, maybe Theo and Heidi. Why did it translate Teo to Theona? I think it's Teo. Why are Teo and Heidi missing? So yeah, Teo and Heidi aren't included. I guess they were chosen because... Or maybe this isn't... What hair color was Zard? Like maybe this isn't Sierra, maybe it's Zard? Because you'd think Zard would be included because he's one of the strongest, right? But I don't remember what his hair color was. So maybe that's not Sierra, maybe it's Zard. But it would make sense given that Clory was one of the strongest fighters. And then if it's Lutz, or like if it's Zard, then he was one of the strongest fighters. But if it's not, then that would be... Maybe she was also a teacher, and that's why I remember her having a relationship with Rana or interaction with Rana in some way. But if it's Sierra Mirha, and Lutz than their 3 of the priests. It's bothering me that I don't remember who this is at the bottom. But either way, let's continue on into episode 16. Okay, on to episode 16, and I'll probably end with this one. I don't want to. I want to keep reading. I'd love to just read 20 chapters, but I don't have a ton of time, and this is already probably going to be like 45 minutes at least, even with just these 3. Have you sent out all the letters? Yes, as you instructed. Sorry, I just think it's so funny that at the beginning, Kurigam said, get used to this shot of the temple. And since then, we've had it like up to 7 times. Do you have anything to say about them? No, I'm sure you know best. If you weren't my summoner, you would have been included in that list, and I would gladly have given my life. And we have the Books of Brahma and Books of Kali, as will anyone on that list when the time comes. Since, in any case, you would have used insight to identify those who are able to sacrifice themselves for the world. True. Insight's very useful, isn't it? If you can read someone's mind, you can predict how they'll act. There's no need for trial and error. That's not always the case. Some humans are yet to make up their minds about how they feel, which means sometimes even we have to take a guess. For example, whether you really hate me. the quick change. We have threat part 3. How about it? You're not sure either, right? You're shameless. Yes, you can clearly say whatever you want now that you've resigned yourself to hell. Keep being insolent like that and you'll have to deal with my company forever in hell. Only in hell? That sounds like I won't be able to see you if I don't end up in hell. It's always bothered me. Humans who live good lives are supposed to live peacefully in heaven after death. Why is it that I have to be in hell to see you then? Are there no gods in heaven? If you can't tell me, it doesn't matter. I'll never end up in heaven anyway. So either there is no heaven, and in the world of Kubera, you either die and then become nothingness, or you die and go to hell if you were bad enough. So that's the only way that you persist is with punishment, or there is a heaven, there is an afterlife, but the realm of the gods isn't the afterlife. Well, I mean, it could be hell, but it's not the afterlife, so the gods can't even make it to heaven. If you can't tell me, it doesn't matter. I'll never end up in heaven anyway. What? You've called us out at this hour to ask about what happened 7 years ago? I can't remember. It's been too long, and we were too far away anyway. Okay, so Par is double-checking, being like, do I remember right? You attacked it with magic, though, right? Surely you saw something. Come on, think about it. It had some kind of pattern on its face. Par, we're not halves. We're magicians with normal human eyesight. I remember it being sort of reddish. Wasn't it white? The hair was white. No, it was wearing white clothes. Weren't the clothes red? Okay, so no useful information because they were too far away. See, Par? This is just it. We can't even agree on the color of its hair or clothes. How would we have seen its face? We would have needed to be wearing hunter's eyes to see it properly. Wait, wasn't there someone who had hunter's eyes on? Right, it was... And they're so close to remembering. And they all stop. What was it we were going to have for dinner? Curry rice cakes. Do you want to eat with us, Par? No. I said I would meet Teo in a bit. Okay, see you tomorrow then. They all leave. There's no real evidence then. I was the only one who saw its face. I'm not even sure anymore whether I'm remembering correctly. Maybe he's just a similar-looking half and I'm overreacting. So, you have Shura parts in your vocal organs? That was unlucky. That's why lots of people accused Runa of being a superior Shura before the Cataclysm. Even though he wasn't the only half who couldn't speak, he was really strong, which made people suspicious. That's why we had to hide how strong he was, and build up trust by being good, in case he had to use his power someday. That must have been hard. It's okay. It's understandable that people were suspicious. And not everyone's like that. You trusted us enough to bring us into the city. Marna, doesn't it seem like that Yaksha half keeps looking at you? She was doing that in the village as well. It's difficult not to notice when she stares so openly. What is it, Par? Are you interested in Runa? You keep staring at him. Yes, I'm... Huh? No, interested? Me? That face. Of course I'm not, at all. Why would I be interested in someone like him? And then his face, but then I also noticed Gandharva laughing. You come to the human realm, and you are like to the human cities, and you immediately get cooked. You have to eat vegetables, which are going to make your stomach super sick, and you're getting cooked. Is not what I meant to say. Sorry, I was thinking of something else. Par, are you worried that he'll be a strong contender? I see. The fighter championship is on this year. No, that's not it. I'm only kidding. This is so frustrating. No one's going to believe me. Sorry I'm late, Teo. Here you are, Elwyn. Okay. So Elwyn is somebody who actually did see Marina up super close. Here you are, Elwyn. Okay. Totally makes sense. You have something you want me to do? And we have Elwyn, who has it been 7 years? It was more than that, right? I don't remember what the time skip was already. But who hasn't aged much, being a half and all. To be continued. So we have Elwyn coming in. I just want to keep reading. Dang it. I don't think I have time. I think I need to end here. And it also works because I think this is 6 chapters long. Again, I'm trying not to go by that. So if I do 3 this week and 3 next week, then it works. But I just want to read like 20 chapters, honestly. But I have to edit this and then like make it into a video and all. And that's going to take me a while. So like that takes longer than it takes to record. God, it's so frustrating. Let's go check out the Afterword. I'm so frustrated. I just want to keep reading. The Afterword this time starts with the link again. Chandra, who's most familiar with the middle schooler body type. Even if he could change his appearance, the age he usually wears is naturally the most familiar. It seems he thinks that body size, which is neither too small nor too big, is just right. For reference, Lila is currently wearing flat slippers. Then I'm hesitating for about 3 seconds because I'm worried I'll be suspected if I avoid vegetables. Vegetable-heavy omurice reminiscent of the green tea noodles from part 1. Unlike Par, who puts meat right in front of her and eats it, Marna deliberately eats mainly vegetables to avoid being suspected of any of that face. Treated like this. Vagal. Marna's definitely the type that Garuda girls of similar age would find very appealing. When he was a child with the Garuda tribe, he was incredibly popular among girls his age. However, while he was stuck in stage 2 for 700 years, all the girls his age grew up before him, and when he was entrusted to the Gandharva tribe, he could barely even catch a glimpse of the Garuda tribe, and he wasn't popular there either. He returned to the Garuda tribe after the Great Cataclysm, but all he did to grow was get beaten up. He barely managed to grow to stage 4, but there are no girls around to recognize Marina's charm. Okay, so yeah, like, there are just so few Garuda girls left, even if, the only Gnostica left at this point who can fight is Akasha. So there are few Garudas left who are into him, and it seems like non-Garudas don't see the appeal. Then open your eyes, look around. What will Elwyn's first reaction be next episode? I want to see. I want to know. I actually think this might be a good end because of that too, though. Because that, like, if I get all my answers, or at least enough answers to be satisfied, then maybe my motivation won't be as high for next video. But now, knowing that I need to wait for this is going to keep my motivation really, really, really high. Either way, I'll end here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Again, I wish I could just do a 9-hour video and read dozens of chapters, but I cannot, alas. So I will have to end here. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of these chapters and blog posts and my thoughts and reaction to them. Subscribe for more Kubera, much more on the channel. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks or sharing around, it's really appreciated. If you want to help support the channel by becoming a member or patron, hit join down below to become a member or go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. You also get your name at the end of videos and get One Piece Bingo early. Thank you to people who are already members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Holly and Bertie Wooster, Magical Girls Dee Dee Van and Tomorrow, Cheriton Student David Langstaff, Slayer Candidates SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pater Real. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.